Hey horror fans, welcome back to Room 237, and originally I was not going to do this film, at least not for this marathon, because I'm going through my extreme, controversial, graphic, shocking, disturbing horror films. And someone left me a comment on one of my recent videos asking if I thought this film was extreme, and initially I said no, it's just a modern Renaissance slasher that's really gory. Then I thought about it, and I just rewatched it, and I would have to say it does have some elements of the extreme. The director is definitely known for more extreme stuff. I am not a fan of this film, and that is Gutterballs. Yeah, this is a shitty cover. It is the balls out uncut version. The plot digger version, which I guess you can get all the good versions of movies like this off Plot Digger. Like Ryan Nicholson, he also did Live Feed, Hanger, Torched, Famine. He's done a lot of these kind of films. Other covers, I don't know if there's DVDs of them, but take the original cover to Maniac, Happy Birthday to Me. I believe there's even one of Jaws, where objects are replaced with a bowling pin, but it's the same cover otherwise. And yeah, this is what I call a Renaissance slasher, which was in the mid to late 2000s. Ones that really feel like it's a real throwback to the 80s. Hatchet, Hide the Mask, Rise of Leslie Vernon, Hills Run Red, Stitches. These were more of a renaissance than like the 90210 slasher revival with Scream, with all the Screams, Know What You Did Last Summer's, Valentine, Urban Legend. These have more of an 80s vibe, and yeah, this is the Danger After Dark version. I'd say of that bunch, this is my least favorite. I've never been a fan of this movie. And I think it's because it has many elements from what I don't like from other films. Most notably, its dialogue is unbearable. I'll get into that. So yeah, it came out in 2008. I believe it's called a Canadian splatter comedy, I guess. It was distributed by Plot Digger Films, so yeah, they're the ones that... Oh yeah, there it is. There is a sequel called Balls Deep. It premiered in 2015. I haven't seen anything about a DVD or even seen it mentioned. And like the 80s, it found a unique way, it found a unique setting to have a slasher film. Obviously, this is a bowling alley. And I think that can work. I mean, Intruder was a grocery store. My Bloody Valentine was like a mine. Shit ton of them were out in the woods. A lot of them were in a school. But, you know, I'm just looking over my slash films just to see, but a lot of them find unique settings And actually, giallos did the same thing, or Italian films did the same thing. Like Suspiria, Italian film, was at a ballet school. So I like the idea of having it in a bowling alley. I think a lot of this film was meant to be over the top, meant to be, like, if that's part of the comedy, then fine. Because the killer has, like, a bowling, like the design of, like, a bowling shirt or, like, a bowling jacket. A bowling ball bag as a mask, and has bowling pin nunchucks, like, with the chain, and this one pin that's been filed down to a point. So yeah, I think it's meant to be over the top silly in that regard. You do have great kills, very impressive practical effects. Is it realistic? No. Is there geysers of goopy blood? Absolutely. Is it fun? Yeah. The acting and the dialogue is the most fatal flaw for this film. This movie is like it's like a Rob Zombie movie trying to make a Rob Zombie movie. I believe even at one point, as far as scripted films, this had the most instances of the word fuck. I do believe Wolf of Wall Street has beaten that. Which I saw it on the list years ago, and now it's not on the list at all. I can't remember how many it had, but it literally sounds like every other word is fuck, cunt, pussy, dick, fuck, motherfuck. The characters are insufferable. You have two groups of people, two bowling teams. They hate each other. You have, I guess, the sort of 80s new wave looking girls, punk girls. There's two of those. Transgender. The lead girl, I guess, the long-haired hippie guy, the sort of hipster looking dude. And then over here you have like the preppies. You have the pop collar jock, who is the worst character in this movie. His Letterman jacket friend, who I swear to God, the director told him to act like Skull from Power Rangers. You remember Bulk and Skull, the skinny one? He has the hyena laugh. He looks like him. Take the kind of acting that the two guys in the convertible in the beginning of Texas Chainsaw 2, put that to him, but kicked up to 11. This other friend, and then like the sweater vest, glasses, nerdy friend. They're all at the bowling alley this one night. And Steve, like, I've never even met someone like this. He literally, whenever, like, he just looks at someone and says, what the fuck is this? He's always yelling at, like, what the fuck, and, like, pushing people and yelling at them. He's mad at the lead girl because he took her to senior prom. Guess she dumped him for his best friend, who's the jock. Oh yeah, there's a jock on their team. the manager of the bowling alley lets them come in to play late after hours. Well, Steve and his group of friends, because the lead girl realizes she forgot her purse inside, goes up to the arcade, and they all brutally rape her. It's a very long scene. When this movie's getting started, either before or after the copyright warning, there's another disclaimer that says all actors and models were 18 or older during filming of this. So you can kind of tell how graphic this film's going to be, and it is. Lots of graphic nudity and sexuality, whether it be violent or erotic. But yeah, she is brutally beaten and raped. Even with the bowling pin. And yes, it does get graphic with it. I guess I'm going to say spoilers now because, one, it does have the slasher twist ending, like what slashers took from the Giallo film. But also, spoilers for just graphic content. Is this film as graphic as, say, August Underground, Serbian Film, Sallow? No. But is it gratuitous as holy fuck? Absolutely. And as graphic as the content gets, to me, the dialogue is really what kills it. I swear and say fuck in my videos, but I don't say it every other word. That's one reason why I get tired of Rob Zombie films. His dialogue is terrible. But I'm going to say spoilers and graphic content disclaimer starting now. Before the rape, it was decided that the next night they'll come back for one game. I'm guessing to see who can play, like who can continue going there. They're playing for the bowling alley. That's what I got from it. But when they get there, the lead girl has like sunglasses because she's bruised and beaten, not really talking. No one senses that she's really off or wearing sunglasses in a dark bowling alley. Steve shows up with these two prostitute-looking chicks. And he's literally just being like, you stupid fucking bitch, pushing them, shoving them. Like, go get me a fucking beer, you fucking stupid cunt. Like, it's like, why would anyone hang out with this guy? You can even see that his friends are getting pissed off at him. So they start to bowl. Each screen has an additional player named BBK, which we see during the opening credits while the killer is getting his bowling pin weapons ready with 80s 8-bit synth music, which I would say fits. The soundtrack is pretty cool on this. And from there, you just wait for people to get killed. That's the only thing that makes this movie watchable. For example, like the first kill is the hipster friend from the other team and one of Steve's girlfriends. They end up in the bathroom. They're 69ing. The killer comes in and forces her head and ass down so they both suffocate. And yeah, you see dick and balls. Looks prosthetic. I don't know if it is. Nice makeup on the face to make him look blue and gray. The transgender gets killed. Gets a bowling pin shoved down his throat. You can kind of see like the cheeks and the throat bulging. All practical effects. I'll give it credit for that. It's all practical. But that's not enough. The killer lifts her skirt up, pulls the dick out, sends a switchblade through it, severs it lengthwise, and I always remembered it being pulled apart lengthwise. Guess it doesn't. But yeah, stabs it through and like splits it endwise, and you just kind of see it. So that was charming. And the one that's like Skull from Power Rangers, he gets his head put in the bowling ball wax machine because there's like screws and shards of shrapnel in there. He gets his head stuck in. First he's all bloody, goes in again, and now his head is all hollow and see all kinds of shit. Couple people just get bludgeoned with the bowling pin. One guy you don't even see get killed. It's just the aftermath, which his head is gone. Steve just gets beaten with a bowling pin. And then you find out who the killers are. The whole time, it was the lead girl. Um, oh yeah, that's what it was. You find out it was the lead girl that got raped, obviously. She disappears throughout most of the film. She comes in for a little bit, then disappears again. The guy who runs the bowling alley, which is actually her father, um, which that I didn't really see coming, but that seems out of nowhere. And then the third person, which is the sweater vest, dorky friend of the group of rapists. The one that was forced to shove the bowling pin up her. Because he confessed to her father, wanted to go to the police, and he was like, no, we'll do this instead. So he was the one that killed guys in his own group of friends to make it up to her. But she's furious that he's still alive. So the manager slits his throat with a switchblade. But I always wondered why, like, her friends got killed. See if it says on here. Oh, yeah, because they didn't help her. Which doesn't really make sense because she goes back to get her purse. The two 80s punk looking girls be like, hey, are you gonna be okay to go back in there? She's like, yeah, I'll be fine. So no one goes in. So that's kind of a plot hole. And I guess her boyfriend was allowed in on it. The jock. But he tries to fight off the manager, but the manager shoots his head off with a shotgun. Nice effect. And I meant the shotgun goes on the manager, not the jock friend. And kind of a dumb ending. It's her and the jock that's left at the end. And she turns the gun on him, saying, you knew about this the whole time. You knew about BBK, which I'm guessing stands for bowling ball killer. Screen goes black. Hear the shotgun blast. I mean, I understand the point of this film is, hey, we're just going to have shocking, bloody, gory, gratuitous kills. So why does writing or dialogue matter? Because for 95 minutes of just hearing fucking motherfucking fuck, dumb fuck, motherfuck, and screaming over each other, it becomes a chore to listen to. the cinematography wasn't bad. It's a good looking movie. The effects are impressive, all practical. Again, I give it all the credit in the world for practical effects. Just, this is not a movie I go back and rewatch a lot. And it's not because I find it shocking or upsetting. As long and as brutal as the rape scene is, as graphic as a lot of the kills are, it's just, and I think it does do a good job at capturing sort of the 80s feel. You have a random setting, group of characters, I guess you can call them that, all killed one by one. A lot of them have unique deaths that have to deal with the setting. But I don't like it near as much as other Renaissance slashers. I like Stitches way more than this. Hills Run Red. Hatchet, definitely Behind the Mask, Rise of Leslie Vernon, way more than this. The only thing I can say positive about this film would be the cinematography, like the look of the film, the music. It does have like a nice 80s throwback vibe to the music. The usage of the setting, the bowling alley, the kills and the gore and the effects, definitely. That's really it. Everything else is wildly flawed. I hate the dialogue. I hate all the characters. Except, maybe except for the manager, who has some funny lines. Maybe that chick, because she's like the most normal one out of everyone in the film. But yeah, really just not my kind of movie. And I don't want to come off as like a prude and saying, whoa, this is too much for me. Just, I've never been a fan of it, to be honest. But yeah, let me know in the comments if you think this qualifies as extreme horror, like with the other films in my playlist of extreme films, or even if you like this movie. I don't know too many people that do, but yeah, that's Gutterballs from 2008. Thank you for watching.